Episode 9, Daytona 24 Hours, Barcelona Testing.
We used to deliberately make up a rumour, didn't we, and see how far
See how far you pit down the pit lane you can get it.
I hear, Honda are going to this team next year. Oh, did you? And you fire it off to some numbskull journalist, and he'd be off running with it.
Welcome to the Two Mechanics podcast. Kenny Handkammer and Mark Grain have 18 Formula One World Championships between them, have been in the Guinness Book of World Records twice. They have over 30 years of motorsport stories between them, not to mention the 40,000 beers. Cheers. What you say?
Hi, Mark. What are we saying?
Kenneth, what are we saying? I'll tell you what I'm saying. This dry January business. Has anybody been to England? I've got trench foot. It's dreadful, absolutely dreadful. So
yeah, you're getting very close to the end of that. You've only got a few more days, and you can start getting your menu back out again and start getting back on it.
yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I won't be restricted by the regulations. And
I'll be happy to join.
Thank you very much. So the UK is not the only place that's been blighted by bad weather and rain. Barcelona has been blighted by bad weather and rain. So, and as we all know, that can happen a lot around there. So, I don't know what you want, Ken, but I've been looking at the different cars and all the rest of it. So I can talk through some of the differences and so on.
I've had a look as well. So let's sort of highlight a few things.
Yeah, okay.
What's your take on it so far?
Yeah. Well, right. Well, let's start. The only teams that are running today. So this is day 2 out of 5 days, and just to recap, you can select 3 days out of the 5 days, and the first day started yesterday. Right. So we're into day 2. The McLaren was meant to run today, and they didn't because of the rain.
But didn't they do an installation lap or not? I mean, I've not looked at it.
No. I think it's like the old. I think the reg is if as soon as you exit the pit lane, that's counted as a day. That's certainly what it used to be. So I think that's what the same spec now. This McLaren thing, this isn't wise after the event, because I was saying it a little while back on a previous podcast that for me, there's no advantage to not being at Barcelona ready to run on that first day and then choose. I think they just had a difficult car build, and I think that it was all come together, and they were about 24 hours behind where they'd like to be. But anyway, they're there now. But the wet weather means that they're now painted into a corner of running day 3, day 4, day 5. They've got to use their 3 days now, and they've lost that little bit of flexibility. But they're a good team. I'm sure they will get their program completed.
Everybody's would have had a tough build, right? I mean, I'm hearing horror stories about Williams has failed a crash test 3 times. If that's true or not, I don't know. And it's like 30 kilos overweight. I don't know where these rumours come from.
Both of those are very difficult to recover.
Yeah, exactly. Or if it's pub talk, or there's a bit of everything.
Yeah. I think that's the thing at this time of year. You and I are not working in Formula One anymore, but even when we were, it's like you could hear one thing in the morning, and by the afternoon it's complete load of junk rubbish. So
we used to deliberately make up a rumour, didn't we, and see how far
how far you pit down the pit lane you can get it.
I hear Honda are going to this team next year. Oh, did you? And you fire it off to some numbskull journalist, and he'd be off running with it.
So, the only teams that have ran today have been Red Bull and Ferrari. And my take on that is I think Red Bull are doing the super smart thing there. They've got all new engine, and I know everybody's got all new PU combination, PU as it's called these days, right? But it's their own engine. It's manufactured right next to where the Formula One shop is. I was at Milton Keynes just a couple of months ago, right? So no, the whole layout, it's theirs. they've got to be out there, and I think that's a really smart move. Just pounding away, getting those laps in the whole package, in that whole chassis, their engine, the whole bit. I think it's
Yeah,
a
I'm
smart thing to do.
quite impressed on how good they are straight out of the box. I know it's very early days, and testing Barcelona doesn't really make a great
It's about
deal,
laps.
but that where they've popped out and out the front with Hadja on the first day, I don't know when it's today, but I thought that was quite impressive.
Yeah,
Never having done
absolutely.
an engine before, right?
That's the point.
Or the lump, as we used to call it.
The yellow lump. Yeah.
PU, whatever you want to dress it up or dress it down as. But yeah, I thought that was a big step forward, and they must be quite pleased with that so far.
I think for anybody out there listening, you're going to read a lot of stuff. Right? Don't forget, this test is behind closed doors. Anything you see is either been put out there by the teams themselves, put out there by F1 Liberty. I don't think the FIA have done anything. I haven't bothered to look. Or it's conjecture on the internet. So be very careful, everybody listening, and looking at lap times and all the rest of it. If you see something, well, Michael did a 1 minute 19 in 1998. Forget it. It's different tires, car, circuit configuration. It's all just internet junk, right? Forget about it. What the teams are trying to achieve with this test is get our programs done, put as many miles on everything, and really load the car up as much as they can, which running in the wet kind of doesn't do that. But anyway, it is laps. And to your point, Ken, I've been very impressed by the fact that Red Bull just keep going out there, and they chose to run today. Use up another one of their days.
Data for these new cars for aero.
I think it's smart maneuver. I think to try and get your days closed out as early as possible. Get all that data back to your factories. Get all that usage on all these new components, and then get the car back, get the car stripped, take a look at everything, get ready as best you can for the Bahrain test. That for me is the smart way of running a program. But there you go.
Yeah, you can never have too much data, can you? As they say.
Nope.
Well, as Gordon Message used to call it, the login bollocks.
Login bollocks. So we have got some interesting variations on aero themes, and you've got, when you look at it, you've got like the Cadillac with a really high cut side pods, and then they've got these extensions on the front wing end plates and these barge boards, and then I can keep talking through all of the cars, but these are the areas. These are the areas of where the real strong variation is. Mercedes-Benz, I think, ran quite a tricky front wing with surprising solution that I think has caught quite a few people on the hop. It's good to them. I think Mercedes-Benz, I'd like to see them strong this year, and I think they will be strong this year. But crikey, we've done nothing yet. A word of caution again to everybody watching, listening. Sorry. If you've seen those renders of the McLaren, that's all they are. They're digital renders. When you look at some of the, those barge boards, as they used to be called, and details on the floor and the front wing end plates, is extremely rudimentary. So I think you'll find that was a digital render, and the car that eventually rolls out of the garage at Barcelona will be way more sophisticated than those digital renders. I'd be shocked if it's not.
Well, from our experience, we know that first test you get a basic barge board on there, don't you, which fits the regulations, and you've got something much swoopier for the first race. Even it might appear on the last day of Bahrain, etc. But there's going to be an awful lot of changes. And this is first iteration, isn't it? And
yeah, exactly. So
throwing the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah, that's it for me. I mean, each team has been putting quite a lot of laps on, and last say I think Red Bull seemed to be pushing on with that. Steve Brodie, a good mate of mine who was at Mercedes-Benz and is senior in that program. I sent him a congratulations message the other day because Steve's a great guy, and him and Phil and so on, Phil Prue. Touch wood for those guys at the moment. They seem to have done a great job. So let's see how it progresses. We've got 3 more days of this test to go, and
a lot of cars aren't even out yet, are there? There's probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't seen. We're not going to see Williams, to your point, and
Aston Martin, I believe.
Aston Martin as well. So.
And I also thought that there's quite a radical, or they're all trying to do it, is get away from actually intakes, radiator intakes, trying to block those off as much as possible.
They're really.
If that is the case, that could be another upgrade. At some races, they might not be running a completely different side pod and floor.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, side impacts. Do you have to, if you're changing that significantly, have you got to go through the homologation process again?
You could do that, but you could have it much swoopy, couldn't you? You could almost have like a B-shaped one or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm no aerodynamicist. Obviously.
So that's where we're at with Formula One. I think it's kind of hurry up and wait and see what's happening there. But it wasn't the only motorsport that's taking place though recently, is it, Ken?
No, I was going to say I had a quick look at Daytona 24 Hours. Obviously, comes close to both of our hearts, being in sports cars, built sports cars, Le Mans, and it was quite a different race with the 6 hours of fog, or 8 hours or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think it was close to 8, wasn't it? Full course yellow
from 10 o'clock at night, which is misery for the crowd, isn't it? I mean, it's just terrible.
I think it's
droning around.
Yeah, misery for everybody. I mean, how you can.
You have to have quite a lot of enthusiasm to go and spectate a 24-hour race anyway. And obviously, very much like Le Mans, they run very similar cars and different classes, which is quite interesting. So Le Mans and Daytona, very similar. Do you know the biggest difference between the two?
No, go on.
Well, one's in fucking France and the other one's in America.
Oh, you mean the Atlantic Ocean? Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, it was really close at the end again, with NASA, etc. And Penske won his 60th anniversary win, so 60 years of motorsport for them, and LMP was run by a friend of mine actually, which is
okay.
Yeah, so I've known him for a few years. I think he's one of those very, very.
Who is it? What's the dude's name?
Toby Saudi.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And when he was racing up against back in the days George Russell, he was matching them, if not quicker in some places. I think we should do a chat on drivers that have been overlooked, because I think that's quite interesting. There's been an awful lot of drivers that have coulda, woulda, shoulda, and there's a few that shouldn't have done, just because they had sponsors and they managed to just hang around for a great opportunity. That's another story.
It'd be great to get Toby on. It'd be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Let's ask him. Yeah, he's probably still feeling in champagne. And now he's got his Daytona watch. He's going to be made up.
Yeah, got a Rolex. Yeah. And I mean, you're right when you're talking about the Porsches and what that meant there for Penske and so on, and then it's a huge achievement for Roger and that organisation. And if you can wind your mind back to the 60s when those guys were competing in sports car racing in the US, in Can-Am and everything with Mark Donohue. So it is spectacular what they've managed to do in sports car racing, and not only
he's done everything and still doing it in IndyCar as well, which is something we will talk about as well when that gets up and running properly. I don't follow much of the IMSA Championship. I do dip in and out of it, and it was interesting. It was quite interesting because it was a massive sprint at the end. And after all that time, it's quite good to see that there's.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? 24 hours, right? I'm going to say of racing because I know it's behind the pace car. I know it's full course yellow, right? So I know some people will pick holes in the fact that I called it racing, but ultimately there are race cars out there turning laps. Safety car, I don't know. I think they had about 3 safety cars, didn't they? 3 actual safety cars. So the safety car has to keep coming in, and then another one to go out because it's got to refuel, or needs a new.
And the driver's tired, right? Remember these these people that drive those cars only normally do 5 or 10 laps, and then the race is all cleaned up, they fix the barrier, and I'm sure they wasn't anticipating to basically doing 8-hour enduro between the 3 of them, right? So
you can imagine what a grueler it is when you've been running behind a safety car for all of that time, right? And when I say I'm now talking about the race car drivers, all of the officials, and of course everybody in the team. So just that
when you lose momentum, you get complacent sets in a bit. You're not on it.
This is where I was going.
For the pit stops, for anything, it's just like dry bread.
So it's like dry bread. So you got all of that for 8 hours or whatever it was, and then you're fighting stomachache, right? Because you just don't know when it might go green, and then the sun comes up, right? Burns the fog off. You're squinting. You've been awake for God knows how many hours, and then of course it goes green.
It's a 24-hour race, but people don't realise that you're up at least 8 or 10 hours before that. So you're doing. I think I did the only time I did Le Mans in '87, which I know was a very long time ago now, as you probably just before you remind me. I did 65 hours with no sleep.
Yeah, right. Is it?
I was like 20 years old, so I was a different human being then.
I remember because that was it for me when I was doing that sports car racing. I remember my boss, a fellow called Jeff Hazel, and this is at Le Mans. Well, did I mention that we won? I can't remember. I'll just double check. We won, right?
I don't think you've mentioned that before, Mark, but it's good to know. We don't probably have to talk about that again.
Yeah, okay, all right.
As I retired after 22 hours in second place.
Yeah.
Bigger than a kidney punch.
I remember Jeff saying, right, that the secret to a good Le Mans is getting a good night's sleep the night before. Yeah, righto. So we took the car over to it. We got some. We had some different headlights that was. There were like spotlights that fitted in to the bonnet of the car, and they crossed over and they pointed towards the apex, and they turned up really late. And so we had to go and run the car. We had to go and run the car over at this little airstrip that's really close by the Le Mans, and put some cones down and just make sure that these were all aligned correctly. So there you go. That was the early night.
I think mine might have been nearly pulled an all-nighter the night before it.
Yeah, right. But I'll tell you. Coming back to Daytona, I was a full on bobble out experience for me. All of these. Ken, it's never just been about Formula One for me. It's been about all different types of motorsport. So I had it on the TV at home, and I had it on Sunday morning, and it's like, oh Christ, it's still yellow. So I turned over, and Cars 3 was on the other side. So I got my motorsport fix by watching the Piston Cup. That was all right. And then by the time the Piston Cup had finished, I turned back, and we were green at Daytona. There you go.
And the other thing is something they may have learned from it. Why have it in January? It's Florida. It's one of the sunshine states, right? And so the East Coast has been battered with weather. You never know what's going to happen, but it's the lousiest time to possibly have a race.
I have an answer to that question that I'm going to transfer from another form of motorsport, but it is in the US. When when I was when I was doing IndyCar and Indy 500.
Here we go.
Yeah, oh yeah, and you'd be there for weeks as well. The Indy 500, it's a race on a Sunday afternoon, but it takes 2 weeks to get there, right? And I said, why do we have to now go back through scrutineering, or why is it only so many sets of tires a day, or blah blah blah? I ask all these questions, and I'm trying to understand all the little nuances of that, and each time. And the guys would always say, like tongue in cheek, they go, "Well, Mark, it's tradition," right? And I think that's the thing. It's racing the Daytona 24 hours racing in January. There you go. It's tradition, isn't it? It's American racing. There's that tradition.
I did about 8 IndyCar races. I was a consultant for AJ Foyt's team.
Oh yeah, Foyt's, yeah.
I'm a legend. I mean, he's an absolute legend. Team's fantastic.
It was something like his 93rd or 94th birthday, just like a week ago, something like that. Really recently, Yeah.
So I just touched on IndyCar for that, and gave them some consultancy, like in 2018 or something. But prior to that, I'd actually done some consultancy for Red Bull NASCAR team.
Oh wow!
So Helmut Marko sent me there, and he said, I want you to go and have a look and let me know what you think. And I'm going like, I don't want to go. It's shit. It's nothing like fun. He said, no, you need to go. I said, look, it's my parents' 60th anniversary this week. I'm not fucking going. And it went on and on and on, and it was like ground me down all over the weekend, because we was talking about the weekend before, and I was like,
Ken, you must go to the NASCAR race.
Yes. So anyway, I missed my parents' 60th anniversary wedding anniversary. Like you give up a lot of stuff for
yeah.
And I came back and said, what are you thinking? I'm like, well, it's shit, isn't it? It's nothing like F1. What do you want me to say? I said, it's not a bad team. Jay Fry was running it, who runs IndyCar. So I met Jay, great, lovely bloke. But why, just trying to compare the two, right? You either want to do NASCAR or get out of it. You'd already been doing it for X amount of years. And then subsequently they pulled out the following year, which was nothing to do with my advice, by the way.
I mean, we're talking about American racing. We know we want to talk more about American racing on future podcasts and in a bit more detail. But the one thing I would say is you've got the Indy 500, which is this incredible motor race. I love it. It's fantastic. Before I actually had anything to do with it, I remember just thinking like a lot of arrogant Formula One people in European races. Well, you just turned left 4 times. Nah. How wrong you can be. It's a fantastic event. It's a fantastic race. I recommend it to anybody listening to go to as a spectator, or work there in the team, or do whatever you can to get there and experience it, because it's fantastic.
We should try and do something like that together. We should do an IndyCar or maybe a Daytona. Or we can't do that because it's a dry January, obviously.
I would say though, you've got that huge spectacle that is the Indy 500. Having spent, I mean, you're there, you live there, you know what I'm going to say, and I'll be interested to hear what you think about this. Everywhere you go, you're going to a sports bar. I did pop into the odd sports bar every now and again while I was in the US. Not once, twice, 3 times maybe at the most, I'm sure. NASCAR's on the TV. It is huge. The fan base is huge. The money involved, the amount of races, the NASCAR is just
32 races or
huge.
Something.
Sorry?
32 races or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I mean
they have a pit stop crew that fly in, just do pit stops.
Yeah.
And all the technicians that work on the car obviously hate their guts. So because they come in all Hollywood and they're doing their stretches in the pit area and all Hollywood, and they just do the pit stops and off they go. There's a training centre and a college for it that they can go, and you can become one of these stop boys.
And it's all private jet, isn't it? It's all
get
in, jet out, away you go.
I flew into Charlotte to have a look around the factory and the Red Bull facility, and then it was just okay, right, just walk across the car park, and we're on a jet, and because a lot of the teams are obviously in Charlotte, and it was just okay, this is all right. Going on the jet, and off we went and landed down, and straight after the race, this is what I like about straight after the race, the thing's basically on the trailer, and off you go.
Quick backup, isn't it?
and you're basically almost straight back onto the private jet and home in a couple of hours. So it is different, very different to F1 when you have to spend 7 hours packing up after the race.
Miserable,
especially if you've had a bad event.
Especially, and it's raining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Well, I think that's covered off pretty much where we're at with where we are with F1. Like I said, anybody out there, please don't read anything into lap times and all the rest of it. Read more into how many laps these teams are covering and where they'll be, and if they've managed to get their full 3 days done while they're in Barcelona. Aston Martin, Williams, they're under the pump a bit, I would suggest right now. McLaren, it's only a day, but now, of course, they've lost. They didn't run today because of the weather. So it starts to just, you start to feel the heat a little bit. So see where that's all.
Until Melbourne comes around and the flag drops, we'll have another look. But even Melbourne is not 100% representative because it's such
well, we've got the Bahrain test, so we'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully, I'll keep an eye on all of these cars. What Ken and I don't want to do on this podcast is become one of those boring techie F1 podcasts. Blah, blah. And we want to keep this a bit more lighthearted. Please drop us. You can message us via Instagram or whatever if you've got any questions for us, and we'll go for it. But my recommendation, actually, you really want to get under the skin of these new cars, is Giorgio Piola. Ken, he's fantastic. He's always out there analysing Formula One race cars. Craig Scarborough, I think, is a friend of yours. Is that right?
They both are. Both Piola. We spent a lot of time with both of them. He used to give me a book his own book every year of his sketches and sign it every year.
Yeah. So they're very talented, and Gary Anderson, of course, with his analysis, and he really breaks it down, and he doesn't overcomplicate it as well. So
Scars work great as well.
Yeah, those are my recommendations. Those for if you really want to get to understand some of these differences between these cars.
Well, those guys at least set their foot in the pit lane, not like all these other so-called millennial experts. Maybe I'm just
they've got a huge amount of experience. So that was it. So,
right,
yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to go and wring my socks out and put them on a radiator again because it's raining again. So I don't suppose you're suffering with that in California, are you?
No, it was shorts weather at the weekend, 22 degrees.
Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you, Ken. Yeah,
it's starting to warm up. So it's getting close to barbecue beer time.
Well, thank you again, everybody, for listening. And again, you can get these podcasts wherever you find your podcasts, available on all platforms. So please listen. Please give us a feedback. We still really love doing them, and
we start filming as well, won't we?
We're working towards filming as well. We're going to start that soon.
Yeah, so. Ugly mushes.
Yeah, aren't you lucky? Okay, all right. Well, take care, everybody. See you, Ken.
Bye.